guys. Give me 1 second. Today's stream might be cut short today. Because I forgot to charge my iPad and it's at 70%, but I think I can probably do like an hour or two before I need to cut the stream. But yeah, I didn't want to like wait until my iPad's fully charged because I need to stream now, so yeah. But just want to let you guys know. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to set this up really quick. Okay. How do I share? There we go. Do the other. Blue sky. Post. There we go. And I need to go back to here. Go to more. Twitter. Post. Let me post it on my Discord. Announcements. Okay. There we go. Okay. Everything's all set up now. Chat is bloody hot again today. Let me put my headphones over here. Let me get my water. My water. Yeah, but guys, how was your day? I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Oh my god. Chat. Oh my god. Don't tell me I'm losing hair, chat.
All things considered, this does stir
curiosity. What's up, TJ?
It does compel me to look up. Just because the series is popping now doesn't mean I'd like to think that with the advent of internet culture, media as prone.
What do you want to cook in the air fryer?
Rodrix has correctly joined the channel.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, an air fryer. You can cook a lot of different things in the air fryer. Let me go to. How you been, CJ? Oh my god, I hope I'm not losing my hair. Oh. Let's make this done.
Just keep smashing until there's nothing left but subatomic particles.
Brainiac wishes to imprison sentient beings. We must free them.
Brainiac's not gonna like this ring and everything that comes with it.
Oh, Chad, I saw that you can cook like mac and cheese in the air fryer. I want to try that, Chad. This a YouTuber made that today. It looks so good.
Hey, Shanae, been trying to, I've been trying to call and see if there's anything you want to do for Mom's birthday. It's just been hard trying to get those words out. But wanted to check on you and to see how you're doing. Let you know I love you too. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Initiate combat.
What? It didn't count?
Objective in sight. Damage sustained. Subduing target. Initiate combat.
Definitely from this morning.
Without having to have an internet connection to run the game, without having to do things that says we want to do that so much fun.
Critical damage. Moderate damage. Systems failure. Performance impaired.
We'll spike you up to $200.
Status.
So there he is, huh? It's all So you guys are having a good day. You guys see the title, you see the thumbnail, you know, and it was just a matter of time before, you know, the PSP emulator was a little bit more tweaked and refined, and, you know, I found new ways to just run it, like, super good, so that it can feel like an actual PSP. And I know I somewhat get hate comments on my short videos, and most of them are something along the lines of, like, and this was mainly with, like, the DS emulator on the Switch, they'd be like, bro, I can do this on my Samsung Galaxy S27 and ray trace them in 4K. Like, why would I do it on the Switch? But, like, they missed the point of, my whole goal was, you know, playing PSP games on the Switch, because it's, like, somewhat retains, like, the original nostalgic value of kind of playing it on a handheld, but just on a bigger screen, a little bit more enjoyable, way brighter, especially if you have, you know, an
That's
OLED
what I
Switch.
like to
Enough
see out
rambling for
there.
the intro. Let me just give you a quick summary of what I'm gonna go.
You have
So
put
first,
my
number
mind
one,
at ease.
obviously you need a
And theirs.
jailbroken, hacked Switch. This video is, I'm not gonna show you how to hack your
What
Switch.
a
I'm not gonna show
battle.
you any of
Absolute
that, like the installation
perfection.
process. What I'm going to be showing you is the game compatibility, because it's different on, you know, the Switch versus like the computer. I'm going to talk about the BIOS files, talk about overclocking your Switch, the best settings on the emulator to get the best, you know, just so you can have it, like, enjoy it to its maximum potential. And then obviously I'm going to talk about, like, is it enjoyable? I'm also going to go over, you know, is this better than playing PSP games on the phone? Playing them on, you know, your computer where it's like 10 times easier to run, you know? Before, like, we actually get started, I just want to make it very clear that this video is not sponsored at all. So if you want a sponsor, oh wait, I don't have a shirt on. Just gonna pretend like that did not just happen. This video is not sponsored at all. So if you wanted to reach out to me for a collaboration or sponsorship, any inquiries of that nature, I will leave an email address in the description. So let's really get started now. Right now, my most viewed video, and I'm talking about like my most viewed full length video is where, like, the first time you guys have seen on my channel, you know, running a PSP emulator on the Switch. And if you guys
Listen
don't
up.
already know, the
There's
name of the
refugees in
actual
need out there.
emulator for
Some
the
are under
program is
attack, others got empty
PPSSPP.
bellies.
I will leave a link
I
in
need
the
you to help
description
them
to,
out.
like, their info in case you
do
want to
that
show
for me?
support to them. Like I said, not sponsored or anything. I mean, if anything, I'm probably not even going to get a sponsorship. I'll probably get a cease and desist, but we ball, you feel me? I was always kind of referencing the DS emulator on the Switch when trying to kind of perfect the PSP emulator. And by the way, I took a bunch of gameplay footage. I took an hour worth of gameplay footage. I'll be showing you guys all of that stuff, like the performance, the DS emulator. And this is something that a lot of people don't actually know is that you can play DS games flawless on solid 60. I've never seen it lag, never stalled out once. But I've had a lot of people comment and tell me, like, oh wow, I didn't even know that that it runs perfectly, because when I saw other videos, and I know what other videos they're talking about, they'll be like, when I saw other videos, like the audio was choppy, it was laggy, it wasn't even, like, it didn't even and, you know, what those other people that made those videos, they're missing two major things. Number one, they're missing the proper DS and BioFOD.
My thanks to you.
Bro, I can't.
And the Guardian.
Number one, they were missing the BIOS files for the DS. And number two, they didn't have their Switch BIOS files for the PSP. This emulator does not require
Antimatter
BIOS
scum.
files, which is like, it's a good thing, but also it's kind of a dumb, in my opinion, because it's like, then you can just like boot into the PSP BIOS the same way you can on the DS. Because on the DS emulator, you can boot into the DS BIOS, which is like a trick.
No more. No more pain, no more fear.
That nostalgia, you feel me? And I think that's why my shorts went so viral, because I boot into the, you know, it's just like, it's just a trip. I'm over here fangirling.
Your money's no good in my food.
But, so yeah, you can't like boot into the PSP BIOS, and, you know, I see the start screen and whatnot, and I'm sure it's a fun for, you know, most of you with the PSP, and I did actually get a recording of the PSP.
The lawyer's gonna sue
And I
those
was able
punks.
to put it on my Switch and, you know, play it just as a regular video. But you guys see that? That's what happens. Moving on to number two is the BIOS files. It's still kind of not like perfect, right? But once you change the overclock, I believe the overclock is like,
That
it's a
was rough.
CPU overclock,
And I've
I
thought
believe
tons
it's
before.
1,785 megahertz or something. I'm not too good with like the name and the numbers and technical like, stuff like that. And keep in mind, you know, if you guys out there that are watching this, I'm explaining this. I explain my
Nice.
stuff
Took care
in
of
simple
business with a
terms
quickness.
for
Thanks a lot,
schools.
buddy.
I don't know. I just get some wild comments sometimes, like people. I'm just like, dude, like it's not even that serious, bro. But here's the thing. DS emulator, which is Melon DS, by the way, the overclock option is integrated into the emulator, so you can just straight up go to the settings in the emulator and choose the overclock, but they don't have that in the PSP emulator. And I don't know why it took me so long to realize this, but I was just like, bro, I could just overclock the Switch, like. So now there's a little
Hey,
program
I could use your
called
help.
Sys
Guardians
Overclock,
are
and this
taking
is
advantage of
probably
the
where you've seen
situation with
videos on
Mogo.
YouTube
They're
that
planting
have, like, a lot
pain
of just, like,
generators
oh, running
and
through
terrorizing
We have
people.
energized
Take
several
them
Mogo
down,
crystals
wreck
with
their
the
tech,
blue
rescue
energy
the
of hope.
civilians.
I just
The yellow
copy and
lanterns
pasted
are corrupting
what's
them
on
with the
Melon
power
DS
of
emulator,
fear.
so it's a CPU
Slicing through
overclock. This is the setting. So I went into the settings and Sys overclock. I went specifically in handheld mode. Actually, some people don't know this, but when your Switch is docked, it actually uses more power. So you have to specifically choose handheld mode. Why handheld mode? Obviously because, you know, I want to play my PSP into handheld mode, so that way it still kind of feels like I'm playing on a PSP, just on
It was
steroids,
maddening.
you know? So I went to handheld mode, CPU
God.
overclock, and copied the same number that I saw on the Switch, on the DS emulator, did that, and
Amusing.
night and day. So now it just comes down to a matter of what games don't run well on this emulator and what games do. So, like, for example, God of War Chains of Olympus, God tier performance. Like, I think I might have played it for 20 minutes. I never saw lag, never stuck. It's solid, and we're talking like 60 FPS. Now, mind you, my settings are
You're
original,
incredible.
like
I might
native
name a
PSP
child after you.
resolution. So I know some of you, am I too focused on the haters? Because, like, they just get to me sometimes. It's just one of those people might reach that because, like, now we live in a day where it's like, oh my god, like, it's not 4K, bro. It's just like, bro, it's not even that. Like, you gotta keep might be the native
fear,
render
it was
resolution of the
maddening.
PSP,
I
but you're
almost
playing on a
died.
giant screen, well, in comparison to mine, and it's OLED, so it's gonna look better regardless. Some people, I don't know, some people are just kind of crappy. But also, you don't want to be too demanding with the Switch, which was why the native resolution.
My
The other
kids
setting that I
won't
changed
be
was the
orphans.
texture filter.
Thank you.
Because on the DS, you know, it was like pixel perfect. Pixel perfect because we haven't seen pixel perfect DS games since the DSi XL.
Not
3DS
so.
doesn't even play do that with the PSP. But I noticed it kind of pixelates your games, and I noticed that in Midnight Club Los Angeles, which I'll get to in a bit.
My
I'll
prayers
show you
were
guys the footage
answered.
where it pixelates your games. So actually,
Thank you.
I think it's linear or max quality or something, but it looks like night and day too. It doesn't change. It doesn't change performance at all. It looks speaking of game compatibility, like I said, Midnight Club, Los Angeles, it performs good. But see, the thing is, like, your games to lag at all. You want it to feel like you're playing on native hardware, and on native
You'll
hardware,
never pay for
it's never gonna
Gargax
lag,
at
you
my
know?
joint,
So,
pal.
because when
That's
it
a
lags,
promise.
it kind of like takes you out of it, like, damn, I'm playing on an emulator right now, and it's lagging. You feel me? And it's kind of like, that's the whole reason I wanted to play it on a Switch, because I feel like it kind of like a trick on your mind to kind of feel like you're playing on a PSP, just a little bit more enjoyable, you know? The PSP emulator on the computer, it's like 99% of the games work perfectly fine, but it's not the same, you know, after it got ported to the Switch, like, it's a whole different ballgame. And I think your average consumer, like, mindset would think, okay, the PSP came out 20 years ago, right? 20 plus years ago now. And you know, like, the Switch came out way more recent. Simple thinking, be like, of course it could run a PSP game, like, no problem, right? But that's actually not the case when it comes to emulation. Like, it's a whole different ballgame. I can see certain games that are more demanding, which, you know, like GTA or Midnight Club Los Angeles, that's where you find lag, and that might be because in those games specifically, there's a lot more NPCs, and I found this really specifically with Midnight Club 3, because I did a normal race with, you know, you got the NPCs, you're racing other people, but then I did another race, an arcade one, where you like can control the level of, you know, traffic, and I'd set traffic to off, and the performance was like perfect, like it never lagged anything, and I took but sure, but that's, you know, it's all really just gonna be a matter of time. Like, you know, thank God that, you know, shout out to the people that work, you know, on these emulators and work on these ports. But yeah, it's really just gonna be a matter of time, and you know, the developers fine tweaking, you know, compatibility, and I guess the configuration needs to be a little from the subject that I mentioned.
I need more power.
People that are gonna be like, oh, bro, well, I can, you know, run this on my Samsung Galaxy S27 500 Ultra, and okay, I'm trying to be humble, but like the thing is, people just have respect for other people's preferences. Like me personally, like growing up, I always saw a phone to make phone calls and to make text messages, and nowadays like maybe to, you know, like their social media purposes, but communication basically at the end of the day. Like I never saw it for gaming, bro. So and then on top of that, emulation, I don't know, like it just never really appealed to me. Some people in the comment section might tell me like, bro, why don't you just buy a Steam Deck, you idiot? Like, bro,
You have done well. The energy of hope within those crystals could be just what Mogo needs to return to us.
That was a clutch performance. Those refugees will sleep safe tonight, thanks to you.
In the comment section, but like, bro, but see me, and this is my preference, in my opinion, my personal preference. I just never liked the idea of having like a handheld computer, like a Steam Deck. And so that's why it's like when I look at the Switch, it's like more of a gaming console. And another thing I understood too, like at a younger age, this was before I started the gaming channel and everything, you know, the Dolphin emulator. For those of you who don't know the Dolphin emulator, that's the emulator that emulates the Wii. So, you know, via proxy, it's going to emulate the GameCube as well because it's backwards compatible with the GameCube, etc. In today's today's video, I'm going to be giving you a brief explanation on how to jailbreak every console, at least for the ones I own. So not only that, but I'm going to go over my console collection. And so there'll be two sides to this video. Each console that I have, I'm going to show it to you guys. I'm going to do a couple things. They're not jailbroken yet, but original. A PlayStation 2 Fat model and a PlayStation 2 Slim model, which got fucked up. They just on the price, like, you know, the implied prices inflate on them. I can... You who are unfamiliar with what hard modding means, that means I have to physically open this up piece by piece down to its bolts and nuts. Get solder iron, solder cables to a mod chip, then to another chip that connects to your computer, then unsolder it. Super complicated, hard nerd stuff. And yeah, so this is my first Xbox 360. This one has a mod chip in it. This is a JTAG. This is the original Xbox 360 that came out. This is one of the latest Xbox 360s that came out, which is the Slim one. This one does not require a mod chip. It's a chipless mod, RGH 3.0. Even though I'm probably going to open up a store soon, an online store where you guys can send me your Xbox 360s or send me any console you would like to, and I'll mod it for you. They will not be coming with games, though, so don't ask me about that. I'm not trying to get a cease and desist and get swatted by Nintendo, Microsoft, and be in debt for the rest of my life for a $15 million lawsuit. All right, but anyways, even though I'm going to be opening up a store soon where I'll be able to your guys' consoles for you, I would highly recommend learning how to do it yourself, because the number one thing, like, you know, nowadays I don't really have too much time to play these, and I've just been filming videos on them, making content off of them. I don't really have time to do it because I work 9 to 5, and I work. But the number one thing that was the best experience, the learning experience of learning how to solder. It's a skill that not everybody knows how to do. It's definitely a very handy. But, you know, at the end of the day, to each their own. If you want to, you know, like me personally, I like sound systems. I like subwoofers, I like speakers, 6x9s, but usually I prefer having somebody just install it for me, you know? So to each their own at the end of the day. Now, anyways, a personal story on console. This was mine. This is the original disc, the green one. Xbox Live Arcade did it. It's been all the YouTube videos I saw never warned me about that. And won it from an auction for like controller 2, white one. Gave me COVID, bro. They having it up. Very when I do another, or I show off my collection video, I'll probably do my game collection, but I won't go every game I own, just that video would be fun. But I'll still go to the most important, share my memories with them and one. Now right here I got the Series X, this console I own. Those of you who are not in the jailbreaking scene or in the homebrew scene, there is an X has been released, Series X, but it is not a jailbreak, so we like home custom firmware, run game backups, brand new. And if you missed the window to correct firmware and get the correct game script app, then like you're done for. If you guys want more information on that, I'll suggest watching Modern Warfare's video on it or Mario's video on it. Just look up Xbox Series X exploit. And yeah, but it's still a very big work in progress, so there's not too much to say on it. Other than that, my personal story with this is I bought this not too long ago. A couple years ago, I bought this camera that I'm filming this video on. I'm a student filmmaker, so I decided to finally buy a camera. I bought a Blackmagic. I think my total came out to like $4,000 that day, but like 14 pounds. And the only reason I was able to afford it, I was literally working at Macy's. Back then, I had like literally no bills to pay. Like, you know, I was driving a Nissan Altima, which was paid off, given to me by my dad. Extremely blessed to have had that. Which, by the way, guys, my dad is out now. As I was buying the camera, they had Series X's, so I was like, hey, throw this in there. And this was at the time they were still pretty scarce. This was like 20. Getting it for like 600. But yeah, I walked out with everything. And just made payments on it, and yeah, very beautiful console. People think that I kind of like hate it because I say the 3 better, but no, it's still a very beautiful console. And as obviously I had to get the disc drive one because I have a bunch of 360 games, and I was like, bro, I have to get the disc drive version because I have a gang of 4K Blu-rays. I don't want to waste those, and I don't want to waste the. I got the disc drive version. Yeah, I've had a bunch of great memories on it, playing Midnight Club Los Angeles 60 on here, and watching my movies. Very good quality, and yeah, now right here we have the play. I don't have too much to say about this. Jailbreak is not really break, but I'm pretty sure there is no soft mod for it. Mind you, and PlayStation 3 is backwards compatible with PlayStation. So there is a possibility I might just leave and not do it. I can already play like my PS1 on my PS2, but I seen a video on Odd Tinkering. He does restoration. He did restoration on a PS1 that wasn't working anymore. Sold this kind.
Hey, Shanae. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah. What's going on? Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. Are you in the bathtub? No. Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about it for the longest, and it's like it's here. Oh, it's her birthday.
Alright. Aside from sodas, what else
No.
My will won't be broken.
Move away from his heat vision.
No, you're not saying once.
In brightest day.
Oh my god. I told you about the
Fuck.
this post
It's gonna do it. Stop firing.
Move away from his heat vision.
You are under arrest.
Well, tell your own hand that you get whatever you got.
Oh, he just doesn't want to do
Just hey. That's what cost us.
Teach him the meaning of fear. Move away from his heat vision.
I just listed if this was
I'm back. Thankfully the cat just ran back in. I get off work at like around 12:35. I might get home like around like 1 or 2.
Stay out of his line of fire.
Okay. One
Get her strawberries. I'd rather you get strawberries than you not get strawberries and in the argument when she asks for strawberries. Just get strawberries.
Alright, I'm gonna get some coffee, strawberries,
Okay.
sodas. You want sodas too, Carl?
Sure, Pepsi. Thank you. Still came in number 1.
rebels, I hear a distant rumbling, a chilling tremor in the air, a shadowy force creeping closer, and it could well be an existential threat to emulation as we know it. You serious? Hear me out. You've probably been noticing something recently. A change in the landscape of the games industry. AAA titles are tanking, studios keep getting shut down, layoffs keep piling up, and yet, suddenly every publisher's got a shiny new retro collection or a remastered classic on the way. Coincidence? I think not! The suits upstairs are beginning to wake up to what gamers actually want, and finding out it isn't what they've been peddling for the last decade or so. There is a lot to uncover in this one, so let's get scratching. Over the last few videos, I've touched on many of the issues plaguing the modern games industry, the delisting of classics, the push for subscription platforms, the shift away from physical games to digital with all the DRM baggage that brings, and the aggressive monetization, DLC, microtransactions, loot boxes, battle passes, and that's not even mentioning all the heavy-handed political messaging and moralizing stuffed into everything from single-player epics to multiplayer shooters. Nobody asked for this. Look, I'm not the modern audience that studios have been chasing, whoever they are, and neither are most of you. We play games to escape, to have fun, to unwind, just like we'd watch a movie or listen to music. The majority of us don't want real-world allegories and ideological lecturing in our video games. The majority of us don't appreciate being bombarded with in-game ads pushing $20 skins when we've already shelled out $70 or more for the game itself. Player numbers have shown conclusively that we're done with it. New releases are bombing, budgets aren't being recouped, studios are closing, and the industry's contracting while still trying to charge us more for less. Nintendo pushed ahead with $80 game prices for the Switch 2, now Xbox is following suit, so the floodgates are open for this to become the standard for new releases. Fewer developers, worse games, bigger price tags. Modern publishers have completely lost their way, blinded by greed and line goes up culture, and it's finally caught up with them. Gamers aren't buying what they're selling, not anymore, we're walking away, and not all of us to shiny new platforms. A lot of us are just going back to the 8-bit, 16-bit and early 3D days where a cartridge or disc was all you needed. No day one patches, no season pass required, no thinly veiled political messaging tacked on, where games were complete and fun and didn't lecture you. Retro gaming is exploding. Collectors are hunting down old cartridges, indie devs are churning out pixel art love letters to the 90s, and emulation has become more mainstream, accessible, and user-friendly than ever before. No longer confined to the PCs and modded consoles of super nerds, emulators nowadays can run on phones, tablets, Fire Stick in your bedroom TV, even some guy's hacked smart fridge probably. And on top of all that, let's not forget there's an entire hardware market of retro gaming-focused handheld consoles that's sprung up around player demand for older games. Why? Because gamers want to play good games, and a lot of older games were good. It's that straightforward. All this isn't just nostalgia, it's an FU to the entire modern mess. Why slog through a $70 game bloated with microtransactions when I can fire up Chrono Trigger and get a masterpiece that respects my time? While preservation is the battle cry you'll hear most from retro gaming enthusiasts, keeping these old games alive isn't just about saving history. It's about holding on to what gaming should be. Fun, fair, and finished. Publishers have been watching all this unfold in response to the crap they've been offering, and now they want a slice of that retro pie. In fact, they feel entitled to it because they own the IPs that are gathering dust while the emulation scene continues to thrive. Enter the games industry's new strategy to monetize nostalgia and keep the cash flowing. The first part of this new approach is reawakening their dormant IPs with a barrage of new sequels, reboots, remasters, and even full-blown remakes of the most popular and sought-after games in their historic libraries. Now, in all fairness, many of the ones that have arrived so far have been absolutely incredible.
La Marca Prosecco
Chalk up another win.
occasions.
You mean like this one?
Find a moment to celebrate with America's favorite Italian Prosecco. Celebrate la moment. La Marca.
Metroid Prime Remastered for the Switch, the Resident Evil 2 and 4 remakes, not you, Resi 3, Soul Reaver, Tomb Raider, Oblivion, Silent Hill 2, to name just a few. But with the industry continuing to shrink and so many developers losing their jobs from the constant stream of studio closures
Okay,
and
here's the
layoffs,
situation.
Amon
Sir and his crew are trying to weaken and corrupt Mogo. It's our job to stop them.
AI upscale. Rockstar kind of already tested that approach out in 2021 with the GTA trilogy, a textbook game
now to without the effort releasing a funny, overpriced mess that got review bombed into oblivion. Perhaps even worse than the state of the trilogy itself was Rockstar's decision to delist the original games from digital storefronts to make this collection the only available way to play it unless you already own the original. And there are numerous other examples of different studios doing this too in recent years. Publishers are forgetting something though. When it comes to us older gamers, we already bought these games decades ago in some cases, and still want to be able to play the originals. So when a studio sits on a classic tied to a dead console, delists an original to push a remaster, we will find a way to play the version we remember and enjoy. That's always been a major goal of emulation. Piracy is the unfortunate side effect of that, but I've made clear in previous videos
like my
how
curse on those
this.
invaders
The simple
work.
solution that is so often asked for and always ignored is for publishers to include the ROMs and emulation rights with every game release, and then provide official emulators that can be bought to download new when support for a system ends and the next one comes along, and continue making money on these games forever. If we're interested in a remaster or a remake or a new compilation, rest assured we will buy it, but we want such re-releases in addition to, instead of, the original.
I'll pray.
The problem is, that's not how publishers want to do it. They know their
Heads
live
up!
service
Some sort of
bubble has
ginormous
started
yellow
to burst,
construct
and
just
they
joined the
know
fight.
replacing
That
those
golem's
types of
immune to
games with
damage,
remakes
for
and
now.
remasters
Moga's
alone
gonna make
isn't
energy
enough.
crystals
So
to help
they're
out.
reluctantly getting on board with emulation, finally. But they're doing it on their own terms by stuffing their cloud platforms with older classics running on official emulators, which lets them continue the ongoing payment gravy train they've gotten accustomed to during the live service era, because these are the very games people have been abandoning modern platforms to play via emulation instead. Publishers and rights holders, the best thing to come out of the last decade in gaming was improvements to digital distribution. Why sell games more when they can rent them? Better or worse,
Watch it!
mostly
This
worse,
chamber is
cloud
unstable.
gaming has been a very successful and lucrative business model for publishers. It seems on the surface like a good deal. A single low monthly cost to you, less than buying a full-priced game, but you get access to hundreds of titles new and old. Technology has become old enough for Nintendo and Microsoft to do away with their older digital storefronts altogether in favor of subscription services. So Nintendo's on Switch Online offering titles from the NES all the way up to the GameCube. Sony is tossing PS1 and 2 games onto its PlayStation Plus Classics catalog. And Microsoft's now pushing Game Pass Retro Classics, which includes games going all the way back to the Atari 2600, as well as rumors circulating that Xbox is working on a new advanced emulation platform.
There's more than to deal with now.
360 titles that will integrate with Game Pass. The catch, though, is you don't own these games. You're renting access
Look out.
to a digital museum, and if you miss a payment, no game for you. Random service outages, no game for you. Games aren't even permanently available and can be removed from the lineup at any time. Not only that, but these platforms are having a serious impact on developers, costing them sales and potentially contributing further to the studio closure crisis. So yeah, publishers are finally giving us the officially supported access we've long desired, but only in exchange for continuing payments. They don't want you to own your games. They don't have any respect for ownership at all. So, as the marketing ramps up to push their online subscription services, they will start to oppose anything that offers an alternative. And therein lies that existential threat to emulation as we know it. You Gen Z gamers can call me a dumb unk all you want, but at 40-something years old, I'm among the very first generation to grow up with video games as they became a mainstream part of household entertainment, and have now experienced many console generations worth of disappearing access to things I've paid for. Like many of you older emulation enjoyers, I lived through the changes, watched them happen as they happened. So, no, I'm not suggesting it's going to be a sudden cataclysmic banning and outlawing of emulators that takes place overnight. It's going to happen slowly, bit by bit, year by year, chipping away at consumer ownership rights, one policy change, one lawsuit, one modification to the terms and conditions at a time. It's going to follow a similar path to online digital sales. Used to buy a copy of a game and that was it. It's our property now. But the rules have slowly evolved over time. Nowadays, you're buying
More
a
of those
license to
machines.
play a
Destroy
game,
them.
not a copy of it that you own. And this license crap is now even spreading to physical games with an approach many publishers are now adopting. Code-in-the-box type DRM, where the physical disc or hard drive doesn't actually contain the game data, which ensures you can't justifiably emulate it in future because you never truly owned your copy in the first place. Publishers have spent decades aggressively and disingenuously framing emulation and piracy as the same thing, deliberately conflating the two terms so much that they've largely come to be used interchangeably, and many gamers don't even know the difference. Just go read the comments on this video to see what I mean. And now, with the ever-expanding libraries and classic games available on their cloud cloud platforms, you're guaranteed to see more legal challenges to emulation as a whole in the coming years. They've already made sure you can't open a new release in July, and by making one-for-one classic games from past systems available again via an official channel, they will claim any fan-made emulator capable of running said games as a direct threat to their income, bringing out their piracy value and yet again. This can potentially even impact decades-old emulators that don't use official BIOS files or other proprietary code and can't be called illegal under current definitions. But laws can be changed, definitions can be rewritten, power and judges have shown again and again they will side with publishers over games.
Get ready and quickly bite back at ends. Figuratively speaking, of course.
Thinking about a hair transplant? Try Hims instead. It contains both finasteride and minoxidil, clinically proven ingredients to regrow your hair in 3 to 6 months. Finasteride blocks DHT, a hormone that causes hair loss, and minoxidil stimulates hair regrowth.
I actually have a full head of hair. It's such a relief to know that there's something I can actually do about my hair loss.
Thousands of excellent reviews. 100% online, free shipping, and no insurance required. Click below to get started.
The real kicker in all this is that fan-made emulators are still the better deal. The official emulators on subscription platforms that publishers are pushing so hard are pretty bare-bones affairs, often just the raw ROM dumped into a basic wrapper with no extra features. No upscaling, no mods, no customizable options, no increased frame rates, and definitely no online multiplayer unless the publisher decides it's worth their time. It's abundantly clear that they're doing as little as possible with as few developers as they can get away with to cash in on our nostalgia while keeping us tethered to their subscription models. And yet these same publishers are quick to slap DMCA notices on fan projects that dare to outshine their half-baked effort. Emulation is about more than just preservation, as I said earlier. It's about the fun of gaming. A big part of that is enhancing the experience and giving players the freedom to enjoy their games the way they want. Improving the aspect ratio to fit your modern widescreen monitor? Done. Upscale those pixelated graphics to crisp HD? No problem. Add mod support to bring new life into a classic with fan-made levels, characters, or gameplay tweaks? You can do it. Online multiplayer for games that never had it? Fan emulators make it happen, letting you battle or co-op with friends across the globe. And let's not forget customizable front ends, sleek, user-friendly interfaces that let you organize your game library exactly how you like it. One community project even adds achievements to retro games so you can prove how good you were back in the day. These are features born out of a love of gaming, not piracy, and not a corporate checklist. If publishers want to put in minimal effort, they shouldn't be shocked when gamers turn to better options. Instead of throwing lawsuits at dedicated fans, maybe they should hire these emulator devs who are out here making gaming better for everyone.
You lost a Center Circuit node. Go get it.
In-house to create official emulators with the same love and flexibility as fan-made ones. The future of emulation looks pretty bleak when viewed through such a pessimistic lens, and I do hope I'm wrong. But check back in 20 years and leave a comment if it goes the way I'm predicting. So long as we keep emulation alive, the games we love can never be taken away. If you bought a game, you own it. So keep on emulating, unashamedly, and if you can afford to, donate to your favorite emulators developer. Without every scummy cash-grabbing move you see these publishers make is the only
Enemy has a Center Circuit node. Take it from them.
And show them not just consumers. We're a community that demands better. Until next time,
big guys here.
No fun allowed, I can't believe it's not illegal. They want to regress until society medieval. I'm evil, Knievel, come and watch a nigga death-defy. You two swallow the nut like we in Vanilla Sky. Your age I gotta verify for safety so you can't deny. Terminate your access if you don't comply, don't even try. Ban the VPN and don't forget the ad blocker. Hide the dislikes, comments locked, what a shocker. Told you pussy niggas fish your balls about the purse, dear. Take a knee and silently observe what happens thanks to weird. They had titties, now they coming for that gear. Ronald McDonald because I love it. Show up to you too because of what you posted online. SpongeBob even is a crime, it's a hard time. Sarah bought you out of life with a pronoun Xbox cross nice from downtown. UK law, I'm protected on something that you live in front of the slum. Butter, cause we know you are family.
you guys tomorrow at 7. Bye, guys.
Don't think